Hi, I'm Scott Goldfine, Editor-in-Chief and Associate Publisher of Security, Sales, and Integration. With me today is Vince Gaydarzhiev, CEO and founder of Alcatraz AI. He's going to tell us about his company, his technology, and products, including the award-winning ROC hardware unit, and also discuss the market and integrator opportunities. Vince, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. Let's jump right in and talk about what led you to launch Alcatraz AI in 2016, and what are some of the latest developments within the business?
Thanks for the question. I'm a hardware engineer by education, by experience. Used to work at NVIDIA on those system on modules that eventually went into Tesla, and eventually moved to Apple, where I was a part of the Face ID team, basically integrating the biometric technology that eventually came out on iPhone 10. And through this experience, through us prototyping and looking at the future and how people will be authenticated on mobile, we found out how amazing of an experience this will be on a phone, but nothing like that exists in the physical environment. We were walking around the Apple campus. Back then, the spaceship was just being built, and we saw everyone still using badging, guards everywhere and almost all doors, asking people to badge in nicely, doing manual face recognition between the badge and the face of the person to kind of double check who's badging in to make sure no one is tailgating. And we saw a lot of fingerprint scanners in the secure locations, and especially if you go outside Apple in China in the factories. So we decided, maybe technology is ready to build something that's passive, that people don't have to interact with, but also creating a lot more security to potentially replace or augment turnstiles, guards, physical access control in dual factor or single factor environments for enterprise. So that's how the whole idea of Alcatraz started at Apple. I got a team together from there. We left and we started the company. Little did we know through our engineering experience how challenging the physical security industry is, with everything going on from the access control software and the hardware and the wiring, and then working with the big corporations, Fortune 10, Fortune 20 companies, government agencies, to make sure we can comply with all the new rules, regulations, privacy, security requirements, to be able to even do pilots with them. So that's how we started Alcatraz. In the last 4 years, we have been developing the product as a full-blown end-to-end platform for physical access control, running on a cloud with an on-prem solution, with not only authentication but also tailgating alerts and analytics, to really make it kind of like the iPhone of the future. One product to fit it all, that you can deploy as easy as a badge reader on doors, but it gets you much more security with less friction everywhere. So that's how we started. We finished the product early this year. It's fully certified, and now we're selling to end users.
Outstanding. Wow, that's an interesting journey. Belated welcome to the industry. Now,
thank you.
As mentioned, Vince, the ROC unit was just named among SSI's top 20 technology innovations for 2020. So congratulations on that.
We're very honored. Thank you.
Could you give us more details on that product?
So when we approached the development of the product, we really wanted to solve many of the challenges right now in enterprise for physical access control, without making the deployment and the whole infrastructure, the whole technology, very complicated. So how do you do this? For example, if you deploy any access control solution right now on anywhere in the enterprise, it can be a badge reader, it can be something else. If it's a large enough enterprise, and if you deploy in a general location, you must enroll everyone manually one by one. And that becomes a logistical hell. Imagine you go to a Fortune 10 company, there are tens of thousands of people you need to be enrolling. They all go to the badging office. It's really difficult. So what we decided to use, and it took us quite a bit to perfect, is AI, artificial intelligence, using machine learning, a lot of neural nets running in the background to make the enrollment passive. That means as soon as you deploy somewhere, our products start learning who the employees are based on them badging, and in time we create our database of okay, who's been badging in, how they look like. We bind the face to the badge in a seamless way to eventually, within hours or a day or two, we know who everyone is, but in the background we're sending their badge numbers as soon as we see their faces. So enrollment can be as passive as authentication. People don't even have to realize they're enrolling. It just works as magic. And that's how we approached also tailgating, right? So it's not only about the first person going in, but also what's going on behind that person. If anyone else is going in, if they're tailgating or not, if they're employees or even guests. Right now, there is no good way to do this instead of turnstiles or guards. And we also applied machine learning with artificial intelligence to make sure we don't have false alarms, to make sure we get everyone in, even if we don't see faces. With our 3D sensing capability, we can see just bodies in distance and their intention, if they want to get in or not. And we build the product in a way to integrate without heavy integration needed, but to talk to any existing infrastructure, any existing access control system or VMS system to get those alerts real time to the security guards. This way, again, you deploy something as simple as a badge reader, but you significantly increase physical security in that corporation, because now you're not only passively, without any friction, authenticating the first person going in, but everyone else going behind. And if you detect someone who doesn't belong, then you notify security. That's very different than anything else out there that requires multiple devices around the door, or quite a bit of budget if you want to go with a guard or a turnstile. And we, as you can guess, we also deploy in high security environments. For those, we can potentially even block access if someone is tailgating by not allowing even the first person going in, if we detect someone else might be intending to go behind. And this way, we really are serving like the gateway between the two sides of the door without anything more than just a rock, which is how we call our hardware. So that's our approach, very engineering focused, very hard problems to solve using machine learning and computer vision with a lot of data. We believe we've designed the most complex hardware software access control platform ever created. It took quite a bit of time to train from the field and adjust the parameters of our AI, but it's worth it. We believe we are on the path to have an iPhone-like product, looking into the future, being updated with new apps in the future, but providing multiple features right now that significantly increase physical security.
Oh, what an exciting, innovative solution. Congratulations again on that.
Thank you.
Looking at the market overall, do you see some particular opportunities for integrator partners with a solution like that?
So we feel the security industry is on the cusp of a change. That change will be driven by innovative hardware that runs on the edge and AI. So everyone has heard of AI, everyone has heard of IoT products, but so far nothing was able to run in a complex environment. Nothing was able to be designed in a way to work in any environment, because just the chips were not ready and software was not ready yet. And we're seeing a shift right now in the industry based on video surveillance or access control and a lot of companies are really innovating around that with complex engineering to solve hard problems. Finally, that they're capable of using new technology. So as we're deploying our product, kind of like the iPhone of physical security, we're looking at competing not only with one specific niche or one specific product category, but we're actually trying to carve out our own product category that we call autonomous access control, which is how do you do access control, especially in enterprise, in complex environments, without the need for anyone to be involved. The admin should not be involved. The employee should not be involved. It should just learn by itself how to be used, and it should populate by itself its own database to eventually create this higher sense of security without the expense of any friction. Not a lot of companies are developing something like that right now. What we see in the industry is some companies are starting to think about it. And just how in 2007, when the iPhone came out, there were the BlackBerries of the world and the Nokias of the world, but eventually the industry shifted with a similar touch-based hardware. We're going to see the same trend in the physical security industry in the coming years.
Well, it'll be really interesting to see that shake out. We've got a disruptor on our hands, I think.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing. That's a good thing. So, congratulations on all that. Best of luck. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
We see also new trends in the industry in connection to software as a service-based models. So usually, coming from an engineering background from Apple, from the consumer industry, back then, 5-6 years ago, you usually buy one time an iPhone, for example, and then you sign up for a service with someone like AT&T, right? But in the physical security industry, what people are used to is just buying one-time hardware, and that's it. Outside paying annually for the software for access control or for the VMS a solution they have, everything else is a one-time buy. What we see in the industry in the coming years is a new shift where service models are more favorable towards end clients, and the system integration companies will greatly benefit from those. How they can create a relationship with the end user through the vendors like Alcatraz, and not only provide a one-time service of a sale and some maintenance plan, but also keep adding new features but with software throughout the years that will significantly increase the value of that platform, and at the same time get the benefit of this annual service fee, depending on if it's a hardware as a service or a software as a service business model, where everyone in the ecosystem will benefit from. The end users are benefiting because they don't have anymore a dumb hardware somewhere in a door or somewhere else that never gets better, but something that always learns, always gets better with new software to make sure it's bulletproof throughout the next 5 or 10 years. That's very similar to also the car industry, where up until Tesla came out, usually you buy a car and that's it. You don't really update its software. Where now the car industry is also shifting towards a model where software in the car is constantly being updated with new features. So that's what we see in the industry. It will take some time, but the trend is there for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic opportunity for integrators out there to cultivate that recurring revenue and build the long-term success of their organizations too. So
exactly, and the more complex hardware and software becomes, especially using machine learning and AI, the better that service model structure will get, because there needs to be a symbiosis between the companies deploying and the end users to create this ecosystem of data sharing, where, for example, for us, we have tailgating, which is purely based on artificial intelligence, using machine learning, using a lot of data to make sure we can see through all the use cases of tailgating and train our algorithms. We need a lot of data for this. And just how in the car industry, you have self-driving, which is level 1 to level 5 self-driving, where level 5 is a fully autonomous system, maybe without even drivers inside the car, and level 1 is just a car with a cruise control. The more cars you have on the road, the more data you get, the better your self-driving algorithm will get to eventually comply with regulation to be deployed massively. Same idea with tailgating. The more data we get, the more levels 1 through 5 of tailgating we can achieve to make our product bulletproof. But that all requires a symbiosis between the end user, the SI, and us to make sure we get privately the data, train on it, and then give it back to the end user to keep improving, keep creating new use cases for that feature, right? So that's the beauty of software as a service. That's the beauty of edge computing and artificial intelligence. The more data you get, the better you get. And software as a service, hardware as a service models are the key to this.
Nicely summarized. Thank you for that, Vince, and wish you all the continued success. Good luck, and thank you for sharing all that with us.
Thank you so much for the invite.